Hi, I'm Quimby Chen, and today I'll be teaching you on how to code your Jewelbots. In the last tutorial challenge, I talked about coding user input with the Jewelbots magic button. In this video, I'll be discussing how to code using conditionals. Conditionals are statements that use logic to evaluate whether something is true or false. In coding, conditionals allow us to perform different series of tasks depending on whether a conditional statement is true or false, thus allowing us to control the object methods we use more precisely. With conditionals, we can program more varieties of loops besides the never-ending kind. Here, I'll specifically be explaining the if-then and the for-loop conditionals. In order to code your Jewelbot, you will need to install the Arduino IDE and all the Jewelbot board's extensions. If you have not done that already, then find the instructions on how to at jewelbots.com/go. Once you have the Arduino IDE open, it will start a blank sketch with setup and loop functions already there, which you should keep. I always like to start my programs declaring the objects I plan on using. In the first video, I talk about that more, so check it out if you haven't already. That being said, the first lines we want to type for our program is LED, LED, animation, animation, timer, timer. Now that we have all our objects declared, we can start working on conditional statements. To do this, I want to program the if, then, and for loop conditionals in two different button presses so that we can recognize which one is working. That being said, the lines I want to type next is void, button press, void, brackets, and then void, button press, long, void, and brackets. Okay, I explained the use of button presses in the last tutorial challenge, so check that out if you want to learn more. Let's program the if-then conditional first. To do that, I'm going to type within the brackets of the button press. If 2 is greater than 0, bracket. And inside, I'll write LED.flash all green for 1,000 milliseconds, which is 1 second. Timer, pause for 500 milliseconds. And then LED flash all red for another second. Now what this means is that if and only if 2 is greater than 0, then the Jewelbot will flash green and red when the magic button is pressed. Next, we can program the for loop inside the long button press. To do that, I'm going to type within the brackets of the button press long. Next, we can program the for loop inside the long button press. To do that, I'm going to type within the brackets of the button press long. For, open parentheses, int x equals 0, semicolon, x less than 5, semicolon, x plus plus, close parentheses. And then another open and close brackets. And inside this for loop, I'm going to write animation.breathe single color cyan. Now what this means is that everything programmed within the brackets of this for loop will loop 5 times. A for loop is characterized by 3 sections, each section separated by a semicolon. The first section being the declaration of an integer value. Here we set the value of x as 0. In the second statement, it defines a condition for running the loop. And in the third statement is a condition for incrementing the loop. Here we have the value of x starting at 0, since we declare it as equal to 0. And then the value of x will increase by 1, since we declare x plus plus, which basically means x equals x plus 1. The for loop will keep going until it is stopped by the condition you made in the middle. Here we have it keep going until x is less than 5, continues to be true. When x equals 5, then the loop will stop, since x is no longer less than 5. Now that we have our lines of code, we can upload it to the Jewelbot. The first step is plugging your Jewelbot into your computer. We then want to make sure we have the Jewelbot's coding board selected and the proper port. To do that, you're going to go to Tools, scroll down to Board, and then scroll down to select Solo Coding Mode. Now to select the port, you're going to go to Tools again, scroll to Port, and then select the port available. I have a Windows computer, so it shows up as COM with a number. For Mac and Linux, it looks differently, which you can see more on the description below. Once the board and port are selected, you want to press and hold the magic button for 2 seconds. After you see the purple fading lights, you can press the upload button on the Arduino IDE, which is in the top left. After it says done uploading, we can unplug the Jewelbot to see the code in action. Now as you can see, since unplugging the Jewelbot, nothing has been happening yet because we programmed everything to happen only when we press the button. Now to see the results of the if-then conditional, I'm going to press the button once. As you can see, every time I press the button once, it's going to flash green and then flash red, just like we programmed it to. Now to see the for loop in action, I'm going to press the magic button for 2 whole seconds as the button pressed long. As you can see, it's breathing all cyan. As you can tell, when it breathes cyan on all 4 LEDs, it happens 5 times, just like we programmed it. Now for the actual coding challenge section of this video, how about changing the conditions within the different if, then, and for loop conditions? Or try putting a conditional within a conditional. Code each type of button press to do different things and see how the Jewelbot responds. I wrote this sample code, which you can find in the description below. It shows using an if-then conditional within a for loop conditional. Upload the code and see how it works. Happy coding! Bye-bye!